Case 1. This man thought he could move through an airport checkpoint without his own identification, but soon his actions connected him to something much bigger.
Deputy Kelly, I was just coming to talk to you about that incident with your ID. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with that.
Okay, I had gave it to my brother, he's right here.
Here, you can say something.
Okay.
Yeah. Your brother's here. You can sit down. Do you have your...
The man involved did not have his ID on him at that moment because he said he had given it to his brother.
So you don't have your ID on you anymore?
No.
No ID?
No.
So we're gonna bring you back there, just get all your information, make sure it's correct. We'll carry this stuff for you.
No, that ain't one right there. He's just on here.
Alright, you face that way. Just put these on just
What is I'm getting the tank?
just to see, make sure your ID and everything lines up. So face that way for me.
I'm about to see my mama. Can I see my shirt?
We'll let you use your phone after all this. Yeah. Do this first.
I called my mama number for that.
Later, the man was handcuffed because of further inconsistencies in his story. At one point, he insisted he was only on his way to see his mother and wanted to make a call, but officers kept pointing out the issue at the Transportation Security Administration checkpoint.
I'm saying, like, what is I'm being?
We're just because you snagged an ID at a federal checkpoint. Yeah. So we're just gonna confirm who you are.
I don't see how I'm getting.
So what happened? What was the issue with the ID?
I'm trying to. I told him I was late for my flight, so I gotta like this here.
He was questioned about a bag he was seen carrying. He claimed the bag belonged to his brother, not him, but since he was holding it at TSA, it raised suspicion. Thousands of passengers are screened at TSA every day, and items like bags are tied directly to the person carrying them.
That's my brother bag. I told you that. He said it right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you had it when you were at TSA.
No, I ain't having that bag.
You never had that bag? Because that looks a lot to me like you having that bag.
Then I told you I hold it for my brother.
When officers linked the ID problem to him carrying a bag that he said was not his. During questioning, he expressed frustration, saying he was late for a flight and could not use his phone freely.
To your brother.
He said when I
Like, why do you give the ID to your brother?
He said why I get because he asked for it.
He asked you for your ID?
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah.
Like, for what reason?
He said he about to go to TSA and see why they want to let me check in. He hold my bag real quick. But
Gotcha.
The questioning continued, with officers asking why he had given his ID to his brother in the first place. He answered that his brother asked for it because he wanted to check why he was having trouble checking in. This explanation suggested that the brother may have been attempting to use the ID himself at TSA, which is not allowed under federal law.
So what was that guy was who? The one that we saw in there?
you see who?
The guy that we saw in there when we were walking out, what does he do?
It's my cousin. I told you that.
So, is that ID that he presented his?
He said he gave it to his brother, and his brother left with it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna search you real quick, man.
I don't. What is my probable cause of getting searched?
You're in custody, sir, and to be honest, you're gonna go to jail for misappropriation of ID.
This is interesting.
The man was informed that he was in custody and likely going to jail for misusing an ID and interfering with federal screening. Presenting a false or misused ID is not a minor matter.
You have who you are? Yes, sir. Do you have a real ID in here or not?
No, I don't.
Authorities reported that there were 155 checks in total that were either stolen or fake, and together they were worth more than $243,000. Out of these, DeMarta was directly linked to 13 checks that he managed to successfully cash. Those 13 alone added up to nearly $92,000, showing how quickly the losses added up in just a handful of transactions. Prosecutors charged him with 5 major counts. These included misappropriating an ID in order to get money, fraud against a financial institution involving more than $100,000, laundering money while knowingly handling over $100,000, and theft of movable property valued at more than $100,000. When sentencing came, the numbers were very heavy. He was given 15 years in prison. Alongside that, there were 22 years of extended supervision and even 38 years of probation added on top. His probation rules were strict. He was ordered to finish 200 hours of community service, complete a cognitive thinking course, and either obtain an associate's degree or start an apprenticeship program. But unlike Nicholas, this next woman has no idea what she is walking into. Case 2. On January 2, 2025, officers were dispatched to the Weston Bank after a report of a fraudulent check incident involving 35-year-old Olivia Merking. It was alleged that she tried to cash a check using an identification card that belonged to a bank employee. This raised immediate suspicion because the employee's ID was being used at her own workplace.
Can I talk to you? Are you just inside the bank?
Yeah, going to the bathroom. Why?
You were just going to the bathroom in the bank?
Why?
Did you like go in and try and cash a check or anything like that?
What was wrong with the check?
Well, I'm just curious. You went into the bank just to use the bathroom. Did you try and cash a check in the bank?
Yeah, for my uncle.
For your uncle?
Yeah.
What's your uncle's name?
Mark.
Mark what?
When officers arrived, Olivia was located nearby and questioned about her presence in the bank. She initially claimed she was only inside to use the restroom, but later admitted she had tried to cash a check for her uncle named Mark. During the encounter, officers detained her and secured her belongings before seating her in the back of a patrol vehicle.
Here's a check.
She presented you this
She
ID?
did, yep, she presented me that ID.
Okay.
I looked her up after I got everything. Here she's an employee with credit union,
According to this ID.
according to her account. And, well, that's her. So I asked her who her employer was, and she's like, I just switched jobs a week and a half ago. I said, well, who was your previous employer?
Okay.
She couldn't think of that either. Well, you're standing in Wisconsin Credit Union. You're going to know you worked at Wisconsin Credit Union, right? So I said, okay,
Like
give me
this
a minute.
branch too?
No, I do.
But she is likely to know like if you used to work at Wisconsin Credit.
Yeah, she said it was Wisconsin Credit Union, yes.
Inside the bank, staff members described in detail how the situation unfolded. Olivia had presented a $700 check along with an ID card that claimed she was an employee of the Wisconsin Credit Union. But several red flags quickly surfaced. The teller asked her about her employment history, but Olivia could not provide consistent answers. For example, she failed to name her supposed previous employer correctly, which raised doubts about her story. Also, her appearance did not match the person on the ID card. Bank employees recognized this inconsistency immediately.
Your husband told you to do it? All right. I'll be right back in a second, okay? And then we can kind of talk about what happened, okay?
When officers interviewed Olivia further, she admitted that she had been pressured into attempting the fraudulent activity. She explained that her husband had told her to cash the check and that the identification card came from a stolen wallet.
My husband told me to go cash it.
Okay.
I didn't do it like this at all. Never been in trouble by the law.
Okay. So just so I know everything that happened today is your true identity.
It's Olivia.
Okay, Olivia, when's your birthday? What's your current address on your ID?
Wisconsin.
Okay, so Olivia,
Yes.
your husband asked you to go cash a check
Yes.
with an ID that wasn't yours.
Yes.
Okay, where did you get the check from?
Honestly, I do not know.
When was the first time you had the check? When you saw it physically?
Yes.
Yesterday?
Yes.
And where did you see the check?
At my house.
According to her statement, a woman named Britt had stolen a purse belonging to Eden, the real owner of the ID, and passed the card to her husband, who then instructed Olivia to use it. She revealed that she had never attempted such actions before and was extremely uncomfortable. Olivia stated she first saw the check at her house the day before the incident and was told to present it at the bank. The check was made out under Eden's name, and the plan was to cash it using the stolen ID.
It was at the gas light where Britt gives Eden's wallet to your husband. And then yesterday, you see this check in your house, but you don't remember where. Then today, do you know what time? But your husband brings up like, hey, you kind of look like this, Eden. A couple hours ago, he's like, hey, why don't you go try and cash a check in her name?
As the questioning continued, police worked to clarify the timeline and relationships. Olivia admitted she knowingly attempted to cash the check using Eden's stolen ID, fully aware it was not hers. She identified Mark Herman as possibly being one of her husband's friends, but gave vague information.
Okay, you walked over here. And you don't know, you think Mark Herman is your husband's friend that you've met a couple times? Okay. Did you get any money? Okay. Did Eden give you permission to use your ID to try and cash a check or anything like that?
Officers pieced together that the wallet containing the ID had been handed to her husband by Britt at a gas station in Ellsworth, and later a fraudulent check surfaced at Olivia's home. The sequence of events suggested planning over several days before the January 2nd incident. Eventually, Olivia was informed she was under arrest. She became emotional, expressing fear about going to jail since she had never been incarcerated before. At the same time, police confirmed with the bank staff that no money was withdrawn and all fraudulent documents remained in their possession.
Howdy. Sergeant Jorgensen, Prescott Police. Are you Kelvin? Okay. What you doing today? What's that? Okay. All right. She's with me right now. She wants me to give you her phone. Do you have anything to say about what happened today?
I don't know if she dropped us. Came up here with her and partner. We got something to get a text. What's going on?
Well, I can't tell you exactly what's going on. I kind of want to get your side of the story.
The investigation then led officers to Snap Fitness, where they confronted Olivia's husband, Calvin. He was approached by police, who relayed that his wife wanted him to receive her phone. Officers gave him an opportunity to share his side of the story, but he refused to provide meaningful details.
All right, sir. You want that? So that's her phone. If you don't have any other questions, you're free to go. Like I said, your wife has the right to privacy, so.
She does. I just need to know if she be nicknamed under investigation. What's going on?
All right, she has the right to privacy. She's an adult, so I'm not going to tell you that, okay?
If I have her consent, and she tells you that,
She just wanted me to tell you to give her her phone right now. You want me to tell him where you're going?
Yes, please, I needed him to pick me up.
She's going to the Pierce County Jail in Ellsworth.
are they arresting you?
Yes, she's under arrest.
Don't say nothing.
I see that. So you're gonna go to jail?
Calvin denied explaining his involvement, though Olivia had already implicated him as the one who directed her actions. He was eventually charged with misdemeanor receiving or concealing stolen property under $2,500 as a party to the crime, and his bond was set at $5,000. Olivia faced more serious charges, including felony ID misappropriation and misdemeanor possession of stolen property. She pleaded not guilty, and a hearing was scheduled for July 9, 2025. Court records later revealed that on April 1, 2025, just 3 months after the incident, Olivia and Calvin filed for legal separation. And that's all we have for today's episode. Don't forget to give this video a like, smash that subscribe button, and also ring that notification bell while you're down there.